That way. Nope. That way. There we go.
All right, ready to roll?
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 54 of the Jake Talk Sports podcast. I am here today with the man, the myth, the legend. He is very slowly and eerily moving out of frame, but I'm here with today the man, the myth, the legend. If you watch it on YouTube, you get a little bit of a surprise at the beginning of the episode. We're here with the TheGeekSlays. Who else? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Sorry, I just totally destroyed your intro. The facial expressions you made as that was happening were absolutely top tier.
Dude, I was so confused. The way your camera was moving so fluently while everything was happening. Gold.
Yeah. The motorized desk is pretty smooth on its way up. It's incredibly funny. My favorite thing to do normally, though, is like if I'm in a Discord call with somebody, for whatever reason, when I get even a little bit far away from my mic, it sounds like I'm 10 miles away. So it'll go up. Jake, help. Jake, help.
That's
my favorite bit that I do now.
It's perfect. Today we're talking about the NFL, mostly week 1 stuff, some previews going on. As a matter of fact, our two teams are playing each other for week 1. So as we get into breaking down some of the games, let's start with a game that I'm assuming you had on your list of standouts. Packers-Vikings in Minnesota, I believe.
It is in Minnesota, yep.
I am picking the Packers for a couple reasons.
Interesting.
I want to hear your thoughts, though. I'm assuming you're picking the Vikings by that reaction, but what do you got for this game?
Okay, so it's tough. The Vikings-Packers games every year are tough because we both know, we're winning one, you're winning one. It's which one will go to who.
Mm-hmm.
And I could definitely see the Packers winning this game. You know, the Vikings, all new coaching staff, your players who none of our starters played in the preseason while they are currently learning a new offense and a new defense. And not just like kind of new. The offense is going to be different, but I think they'll be fine either way. Too many weapons for that to just not work. It'll work. Even with Zimmer's shitty idea of an offense, it worked. But the defense, I mean, we're transitioning from a 4-3 to a 3-4. You have Danielle Hunter now technically playing a linebacker spot that he's never played before. Secondary is still kind of questionable. Benefit for us, Packers receiving core is awful. So that's a plus.
Week 1, Sammy Watkins. Week 1, Sammy Watkins. You're underestimating him.
He'd still be the wide receiver 5 in Minnesota.
Whatever. Don't shut up. I don't want to hear it. But
you guys wish you had Jalen Reagor at this point. Come on.
I would take him.
I know you would. That's the thing.
The thing is, dude, and one thing that did come out today is Matt LaFleur does not seem too confident that Lazard is playing.
Ooh.
And may have accidentally said that they have Christian Watson as the wide receiver 1.
Nice.
So I'm just like, what's going on, man? Here's my thought. I think the Packers I'm going to pick them, but I think they're most likely going to lose because the second time they play, it's going to mean more, and Aaron Rodgers is probably just going to do his thing at Lambeau too. That'll probably be what ends up happening. Like, when's the last time one of these two teams swept the other one? I think the Packers swept them like a few years ago, back when like the Vikings didn't have Jefferson yet, I want to say. Like maybe Diggs last year.
Ooh. Let me see.
It was the one year where they played on Monday Night Football and Kirk was just awful. And like, there was in Minnesota, Monday Night Football, Packers, like around Christmas time, and Packers, like Aaron Jones had a great game. And I remember that, but I don't remember what year that was.
Okay, so last year it split. The year before it split. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out which one went where. 3 years ago, it was actually I wish it was more clear. Actually, 3 years ago, the Packers swept us when it
Okay.
was Kirk's first year, I guess. And then, yeah. But it is normally fairly close. But that was the year without Jefferson, but we still did have Diggs.
Mhm.
So, should we have lost? Probably not, but we did. So,
There it is.
you know.
So bottom line here, this should be a really interesting game in Minnesota. A team with a new head coach. We get to see our first glimpse of a Kevin O'Connell run team. Never been a head coach before. We have no idea what this is going to look like. And then you got Aaron Rodgers with no receivers. All the narratives against him. What is he going to do? Is it going to be another Saints issue from last year where they just get blown out? And everyone's like Rodgers throwing games
so.
again. Either way, dude.
I hope so.
Winner of this game wins the division. That's my prediction.
Ooh. The winner of week 1 wins the division.
Ends up winning the division is the prediction.
Wild.
Yeah,
Wild.
dude. I moving on to some other games. I don't really. Do you have your game picks? Do you know basically what you're running?
Yeah, I can actually go.
Do you have any like major upsets? Because I'm looking at mine, and I don't think I do.
I don't think I do either.
My one,
but
this is technically an upset, but I don't think it really is. I think the Jaguars are probably going to beat the Commanders.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's an upset pick, I think. But I think Trevor Lawrence is going to ball out.
I can't get logged into my stupid one place.
The playoff predictor thing?
No. Locally, our radio station runs a thing where you can make your picks and, win prizes at the end of the whatever. But so I've made my picks for week 1 on here. That's what I'm going to go look at. And
sweet.
Sorry, you were just talking about. Yeah, I have Jacksonville over Washington.
Good stuff.
What one looks like the biggest upset here? I mean, is Carolina over Cleveland an upset pick at this point?
Odds-wise, no, but personal opinion, maybe. Okay,
I don't think so.
Comparing their roster, the Browns have a better roster, even with Brissett at quarterback. Right?
Do they though?
Yes.
Do they though?
Yes.
I think it's closer. Okay, I'm thinking about this fully healthy, peak of his powers. CMC is the best running back in this game.
Right.
Healthy CMC is better than
we haven't seen
every
that in 3 years.
Player on the Browns. We saw it for multiple weeks last year. Didn't he finish the season with 6 touchdowns and 2 games played?
Something like that. That's the thing, man.
And that's the thing. He only needs to be healthy for this game, for this prediction to matter. He can get hurt in the 4th fucking quarter. I don't care.
Honestly, dude, I'm predicting them to win this game even without CMC. I just think the Baker thing could be so cool. And
dude,
here's the thing.
Yeah.
That receiving core might be all around better than the Browns currently. DJ Moore is not better than Amari Cooper.
Yeah, he is.
You think so? He might be.
In 2022, yes.
So, yeah, let's say DJ Moore's better than Amari Cooper. So. But then there's a huge drop-off for the Browns. It's like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'd probably take Robbie Anderson over him. Let's be real. Their defenses are kind of
Chenault.
Yeah, their defenses are kind of similar. Good edge rusher, bad rest of the defensive line. Nobody else is there. Bad linebackers.
Derek Brown.
That's okay.
Derek Brown.
Fair.
That makes the Panthers D line better.
Probably because the Browns D line sucks.
Panthers just added, at linebacker the Panthers still have Shaq Thompson.
That's okay. Yeah.
And then safety wise, I think the Browns probably take that because the Panthers have Chin, but the Browns have 3 safeties who are maybe not better than Jeremy Chin, but 3 that are better than anyone else in that safety room for the Panthers.
Yeah.
And then corners is close.
Number 1 corner,
the Browns have the best.
Yeah.
Number 1, but
assuming there's
that, it's close.
A healthy J.C. Horn could be really, really good.
Could be.
And then they have like who's
But
it, Dante Jackson there? Is that his name? The one like really hyper
Speed
athletic dude.
Demon. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got him. Uh,
CJ Henderson's still there.
yeah. I'm picking the Panthers. Plain and simple. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the narratives are too heavy. The Panthers always start off well. They do. They were 3-0 at the beginning of last year, and it's Jacoby Brissett. The Browns are a good roster, but it is Jacoby Brissett. For the love of God, he is not a. Stop this. He is not a good quarterback. He is not good enough.
No.
Yeah.
I also just saw. I guess this is another one that's up for interpretation. Is having the Rams beating the Bills an upset?
I don't know what like the official Vegas odds are, but
Right.
I think the Bills are the best team in football, so I think I would say that the Rams, that would be an upset for my pick, but it is very rare to see a Super Bowl like winning team come back their first week off and just suck.
Right.
And so the Bills are also a team I could see getting off to maybe a slow start. Just some things don't click.
I don't even think it'll be a slow start. I'm picturing this game the same as Dallas Tampa Bay last year.
Yeah.
We're like, it's a slugfest.
Probably.
And like the Rams,
it'll be close.
The Rams will
way.
win because like they get the last possession, or Donald and Ramsey just make a stop. You know,
regardless of who wins, this game will not be like a blowout or anything by any means.
No, no. I also looked and saw the Bills' record against previous Super Bowl winners over the last like 20 years, and they just can't beat them. So it was one of those like, I don't know, every metric kind of plays into the Rams' favor, other than I think the Bills are the better team. But the better team still loses sometimes. It happens. Welcome to the NFL.
Any given Sunday, yeah. Except that's a Thursday. That's the point.
Whatever. Any given Thursday, then.
Any given Thursday. Yeah, I have the Bills over the Rams. I think this is probably Josh Allen's year to win MVP. He's up there in my picks. I think I've officially predicted Herbo, which is probably another guy. Usually, I mean, it's pretty much just best quarterback on best team for MVP at this point. Like one seed Packers, Aaron Rodgers, like it's not gonna go to Ryan Tannehill. So like whatever.
No, I don't know. I want to say unless a running back or a receiver gets 2,000 yards, but Derrick Henry broke 2,000 and didn't win it.
Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor
which
and
used
Cooper
to be
Kupp,
the benchmark.
Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor both had arguments last year and didn't even come close to finishing high in the voting. I just don't think it happens.
I don't know if it ever happens again.
Maybe a 2,000 yard receiving season. Maybe.
I still don't know. For some reason, I see the NFL giving the award to the quarterback who produces that season, not
even if it's Justin Jefferson.
Receiver. I think the NFL's dumb enough they'd give Kirk the MVP over Jay Jettas. I really do.
If Kirk finishes his career with an MVP, the NFL is
I'm gonna throw a riot.
It's cooked. This is completely off topic, but I have to ask this question because that just hit me.
Yeah.
Is Kirk Cousins going to make the Hall of Fame solely because he's a stab merchant?
No.
I don't think so?
The Hall of Fame, we know for sure. The Hall of Fame is very strict when it comes to any player that didn't win a ring. Like Chris Carter, if you look back, retired as the second greatest receiver of all time, and it wasn't close.
Right,
he was the only guy who looked like he could keep up with Jerry. And he still had to wait 10 years to get into the Hall because he didn't have a ring. Jared Allen is waiting because he doesn't have a ring.
Well,
this is what the NFL does. And when it comes to a quarterback, that's an even bigger deal to the Hall of Fame voters.
Sure.
So unless he breaks literally every record, there's no shot.
Okay.
He has to win a ring. If he wins a ring, then yeah, he gets in. That's just how that goes.
He could. It's not entirely impossible.
Not impossible. I don't think it's possible, but it could happen. Kirk could come out and stun everybody this year and just actually be the guy. He could. I don't see it, but would it be like the most surprising thing ever? No.
No, I wouldn't say so. Another really interesting game to me is round 2 of Bucks Cowboys. I think this is probably going to end up being a slaughter, and it's kind of going to humble the Cowboys a little bit this year. I really do not like the Cowboys at all this year. I think we've talked about this. I'm not sure you do either, but man, this is a tough first draw, dude. Fresh off of coming out of retirement, Tom Brady and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's playing. So I don't know, man.
I think. Well, so wait, Chris Godwin is playing?
I saw on Twitter that he was expected to be ready for week 1. That could have been completely a false report, but I'm pretty sure I saw it from like an actual source.
Well, according to DraftKings, it's still up in the air. Apparently. I'm checking.
Latest.
In week 15. It was updated today, but nothing's saying for sure. But the chances of him playing are improving because he was no longer wearing a knee brace at practice today.
Okay. But
that also doesn't mean he is playing. But
I've also realized that the expected to be ready for week 1 came from NFL Rumors, which is not the most valid account. But either way, they still have Julio. So, like,
sure.
Still 2 decent receivers or good receivers. At least one great receiver, one kind of washed.
So, I'm not high on the Cowboys this year either. But I'm also not high on the Bucks. I'm really not.
Fair.
Their O-line got worse. Their defense got drastically worse.
Yeah.
They lost Jensen. Cool. They traded for Shaq Mason. That's dope.
If they had a quarterback that wasn't Tom Brady, like a quarterback, if they had like probably anybody besides like Brady, Rodgers, or like Mahomes, this team would be cooked.
Mahomes, Herbert, and Allen will all be given the same thing. But their defense, I think the Cowboys are going to torch that defense. I really do. I think this game's close, not because the Cowboys are better than the Bucks, but because the Bucks defense is shit. And
it is not great.
We've seen Dak pick it apart when it was better than it is this year. So
right, and I don't know, dude. I'm just very, very much concerned about how thin they are at receiver coming into this game. I mean, it's CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert, who's like, I don't know what round he went in, but he's a very low grade rookie at the current moment with a good amount of upside. And then it's Dalton Schultz, Zeke. Say what you will about Zeke. I think he's still like a very good running back. I still think he's got a lot in the tank.
He is. The weird washed argument doesn't make sense. Anyone who actually says that has not watched the Cowboys
1,000 yards
play.
last year, bro.
Yeah,
and people are saying he's washed.
Yeah, his numbers were down, but the yards per carry argument is a lot of what I've seen. Mm-hmm. Like Pollard's getting more yards every time he touches the ball. Bro. Watch the games. When Pollard touches the ball, he has a hole. Normally, when Zeke's getting handed the ball, he's hit by the time it touches his arms. And he has to break a tackle in the backfield to pick anything up. Nobody actually watches the games. They just want to yell it because they see stats. And it bugs me.
Yeah, because and also because Tony Pollard's a little quicker, everyone's like, well, you should start the guy who's faster. Like, no, that's not how this works. Cool, he can kick return too. You don't see the Vikings starting Kenny Nwangwu over Delvin Cook. That's not the point.
And I'm sorry, you don't see John Ross as a starting receiver in this league. And if speed was truly all that mattered, he'd be better than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, if speed is all that mattered, John Ross is the best receiver in the NFL because he's probably one of the fastest receiver ever.
Close.
Not at all, dude. Right.
But Tyreek would then be the closest. But most people don't think Tyreek's the best receiver in football either. Whether you're as low on him as I am, which I'm not that, I have him outside the
You
top
are
10,
you
which is
are
low, but it's
in
not
relativity to others. You are not that low on him.
right.
Um,
Like, I have him outside the top 10, which sounds huge, but like he's 5 spots lower than where most people have him ranked. Like, who cares? I just prioritize other things than what
yeah,
Tyreek does
right.
for me. And that's just a me thing. I get that. Yeah.
It's all a matter of opinion with
Yep.
like these lists. I mean, yeah, the Pollard over Zeke
Yeah.
arguments are some of my least favorite. Hate them.
Yeah.
What else do we got? I think I am really, really intrigued by this Chargers Raiders Week 1 game.
Me too.
I think it's to me it's like looking at like a test of like who's legit in the AFC West. Like the Chargers are the most hyped team this year. Like people have them going 15-2, 14-3. I have them somewhere in
I'm
like
one of those.
I have them in like the 12 to 15 range. I can't decide. There's so many games that I'm like, maybe, but like
Right.
like this team's I'm pretty sure every AFC West team is going 3-3 in their division. Like
Maybe, yeah. I can see it.
outside of maybe the Chargers sweeping the Broncos. But I don't think we've really talked about the Raiders too much between you and me. What do you do you like the Raiders this year? Do you not? I have them finishing I think third. I still have them behind the Chiefs.
I think I had them at third as well. I think I had the Chiefs finishing last in the division. Still with like an 11-6 record, but I don't think I like every other team more. Like, they have the coach and the QB, but their defense sucks. Their O-line's mediocre. Their weapons maybe could be good because Juju at one point was that guy. Can he be that guy again? Yes. If anyone's going to make it happen, it's Reed and Mahomes. Yeah. Let's be honest. But
I mean, I tweeted this out. This is my opinion. I think the Broncos are majorly overrated. I think that a couple of reasons. One, that defense is not as good as you are being led to believe that it is. I do not think that they are as good as people. The people will put the Broncos defense in an elite tier because they suffer from the same syndrome as like the Dolphins, maybe, where it's like they have a bunch of big names, but the rest of the defense kind of is a little off.
The reason the Broncos are put in the elite tier is because they were elite last year. They were the third best defense in football. That's why they get the elite tier. It's not,
and
the
that's
stars.
what Vic Fangio would. That's what Vic Fangio is the head coach. Now they have Nathaniel Hackett, who, by the way, hate the hire. I love Nathaniel. Should have said a Packer. Hate the hire. But
wow, I love the coach, but don't hire him. He's bad because I want to keep him.
As that, and I also don't think he'd be a good head coach. I think he's a good OC. They had the option of Mike Zimmer to at least be the defensive coordinator and to keep that defense in line. And also, Russell Wilson does not do well playing in a system. He just doesn't. He does his own thing. So make him try and learn a new one. And I'm not saying that this is going to continue throughout the year, but I think this is a very slow start for the Broncos. I think I mean, I think that. Who did they play week 1?
The Seahawks.
Oh,
so they're gonna
crush the Seahawks. Yeah.
I do kind of wish Drew Lock was starting for Seattle just for
the revenge game narratives. Yeah.
Well, mostly I just think it would be funny to have Drew Lock go out there and just take a shit against his old team. It'd be funny.
That also wouldn't be funny if you like everyone's like Drew Lock revenge game and he throws like 4 picks or like.
It would also be cool if he lit him up. That'd be fun to watch.
Or he just like picks apart the defense. The narratives would be funny. But I'm picking the Chargers and this moving back to the Raiders game for a second. I'm picking the Chargers. I mean,
I also have the Chargers picked. I love that we wanted to talk about the Raiders and moved on to every team but them.
That's true. Let's talk about the Raiders. Yeah.
But the Raiders, they're tough. I like their team. You know, I think Carr at this point is severely underrated. I really do.
Yeah.
People think Kirk's better. Yeah. People think that, he's easily the worst quarterback in the division. Are we sure Russell Wilson's better?
Russell Wilson's the only arguable guy, obviously, between those guys. But
No, head-to-head last year, Carr beat the fuck out of Herbert. He did his job while Herbert failed his. That's not true at all. I know.
Not true. Yes.
But
no.
it's more fun.
It is
if
more
we're making
fun.
wins a quarterback stat, then Carr's better than Herbert. That's
Sure,
just the rules.
of course. Yeah, I think Russell Wilson's probably better.
At this point in their career,
I don't know. Because Derek, I will say Derek Carr right now, his play style is more sustainable than Russ's is.
Yeah.
Because Russ will not.
Can't.
The scramble thing does not work for Russ anymore. He's too old. He can't do it anymore.
No, I think he can. I think
not
the
as
biggest
efficiently.
issue is that he shouldn't. And
Shouldn't.
we've
Yes.
seen, go look at Russell Wilson's pass chart over his career.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so hyped up on Jerry Jeudy. I know we're cutting
I'm a big
off the
Cortland
Raiders
Sutton
again,
guy.
whatever. But Jerry Jeudy is not gonna thrive with Russ.
No, Cortland Sutton
Jerry
will
Judy's
though.
the
That's what I'm
slot
saying.
guy.
Cortland Sutton will.
Yes.
Please. Yes.
Tim Patrick would have. Cortland Sutton will.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry Jeudy won't. He's a slot guy, and Russ refuses to throw over the middle of the field. Probably because he can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But Russell Wilson's not much taller than me, 2 inches.
Yeah,
I can't see over that line.
Nope.
No way that guy can.
Here's the thing, dude. I think what you're saying about that is I think Derek Carr unlocks maybe more of the field, right?
Yep.
Because
without a doubt,
we're saying that Jeudy gets a new borderline elite quarterback, and we're saying he won't thrive. And then Carr gets a borderline, not borderline, elite, the best receiver in football, and everyone's like, "This is gonna go crazy! He's going to
it's gonna
be a
go
monster."
wild.
Right? There's a very big difference, the narratives being pushed there. Obviously, there's a difference between Devontae Adams and Jerry Jeudy, obviously, but still.
Oh yeah. But also, look at the Raiders last year. Carr was putting up numbers and kind of going crazy.
And
downfield
Darren Waller wasn't even
with
playing.
Zay
most
Jones.
Of the year. Yeah.
No. Most of his deep stuff was Zay Jones,
Deshaun Jackson for a while.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
It was not. Now he has truly elite weapons, and I don't know how you quantify it, right? If we're talking about the best traits a quarterback can have, how do you quantify the fact that Derek Carr was on a team that lost its head coach, its best receiver, its best corner, and multiple other pieces being gone from the team mid-season?
Yep.
And Derek Carr still lifting that team all the way to the playoffs and giving the Bengals, who went to the Super Bowl, a run in that wild card game.
Mm-hmm.
They tried.
They did.
Yeah. How many quarterbacks get their team lifted up the way Derek Carr does? Because even 2 years ago, when the Raiders were bad, they still won 7 games. Why? Because Derek goddamn Carr.
Right. And Carr, there were points last season, and this wasn't even early season hype. Towards the mid-season point, there were legitimate Carr MVP narratives being pushed.
Yeah.
He was on track for a great year without Darren Waller.
Right.
A top 4 tight end, I would say. If he's healthy, the best receiver in football.
Well, he's top 5 no matter what. Because the top 5 is pretty sealed at tight end, and it's not close.
Not at all. There's a pretty big drop off.
Just talking about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's after, Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews, Waller, and Pitts, the drop off is pretty drastic.
Because then it's what? Who would you say is 6? Maybe Hawkinson? He doesn't play that much. Probably. Yeah. But Darren Waller hurt most of the year, and Carr still thrives. Now he gets the best receiver in football, and not to mention the guy he balled out with in college.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, I think the Raiders ceiling for me is winning this division.
Oh,
their floor is finishing around 3rd and maybe skipping their way into the playoffs.
Maybe. I could see them missing the playoffs. Their secondary is bad. And
that's the thing.
I don't like McDaniels.
No. Dude, there's a reason why this dude hasn't gotten a job before this.
Well, he did get a job before this.
He dipped on it. Yeah, I know.
Well, no. The Broncos. Everybody's forgetting
the Broncos
about
won, yeah.
He was bad.
Oh, dude, yeah, awful.
He destroyed the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's not a good head coach. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he improves that culture at all. For a culture that more than any other teams needs to be improved at this point, because while they may have gotten rid of the things that may give them a bad rap, they need to kind of earn that reputation back of like being like not just this jerky team. And then there's Josh McDaniels, who like isn't a guy who's like you're gonna see in a press conference doing like stuff like Dan Campbell does or like Mike McDaniels does, where they're just like fun and vibey and like actually like care about their players.
Right.
But
yeah,
I'm high in the Raiders. Maybe I'm not. I can't tell.
They're a tough team, man.
Yeah, another interesting game. This may not be interesting to you, but I just kind of think it's gonna. I'm excited to watch 49ers Bears because of Trey Lance mostly.
I mean, yeah, we're getting to see both young quarterbacks, but
I mean, this is another one of the high
team I'm not high on, but
this is one of like the highest hype teams, and I don't see it. I don't
either.
Trey Lance hasn't done anything yet. Oh, sure.
But he's more talented than Jimmy G.
28 touchdowns to 0 picks in college. Playing for NDSU in the FCS. And that was one season.
Right.
And Trey Lance might be more talented than Justin Fields, but right now, I don't think he's the better quarterback.
I don't think so. And I don't think he's more talented. I really don't.
There's maybe even an argument.
Again, it's the argument we had in my Discord the other day.
Yeah.
Yes, Trey Lance has a bigger arm. Doesn't fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys have big arms. Jamarcus Russell had a bigger arm than anyone in the NFL ever.
Yep.
Didn't matter. He sucked. Having talent doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. So, yeah, Trey Lance theoretically has all the talent in the world. But Fields has shown more development on the field. And I think overall might just end up being the better guy.
Yeah.
I think, was it me? Me and Miller Football were having this conversation on Twitter the other day about Jimmy G. And, people need to stop saying Jimmy G carried the 49ers to the playoffs.
Yes.
Which is true.
Yes.
He didn't carry them to that Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game last year. But what we also have to realize, not every guy can do what Jimmy G did or what Case Keenum has done or even a Teddy Bridgewater or any of these guys who come in, take over, and lift the team up. It's not that they're the most talented, because they're not. It's mostly mental and a lot of just doing what you are told to do. Execute the plan. Yeah. Those guys can do it.
Listen,
Trey? I don't know.
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. And he didn't play a snap until the playoffs.
Right. Case Keenum took a team to an NFC Championship game. It's all about, can you fill the role? And Trey Lance, I think, wants to be a Rodgers or a Mahomes, which makes sense. You want to strive to be the best. That's fair.
Of course, yes.
But I think he's going to make too many boneheaded mistakes.
Most likely, yes.
He's got too much, Rodgers, Favre's, Mahomes, gunslinger attitude in him. That doesn't work year one. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to go through the pains of a year of figuring out what throws can I actually make at the NFL level? What decisions should I not make again?
Sure.
It's going to be a rough patch.
I don't understand naming him the starter this year, in my opinion.
I do.
I do. He's the guy everybody wants to see.
You got to move on from
He's
Jimmy.
The more talent. You got to move on from Jimmy. The thing is, Jimmy, like it or not, the seasons that he's been healthy, this team has been a winning football team.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that there are a couple of seasons that Trey Lance starts in these next couple of years that they might not be a winning football team. They're going to win games. It's Kyle Shanahan. It's a decent defense. Their offense outside of Trey Lance is basically already all proven. Like Debo, George Kittle, Trent Williams, those guys are all guys. You know what they are. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's Trey. If Trey works out, this team could be the 1 seed if he's good this year.
Yeah.
They could easily win that division, and they could easily be the best team in the NFC because the NFC is weak. Like that top spot's up for grabs for a lot of teams. In my opinion, it's Philly, but yeah.
But also, there's a chance they could be the 1 seed. I think there's a bigger chance that they just missed the playoffs.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like,
that might require them finishing
the
lower than
division.
second in the division, though. Right?
I don't think it would. It could, but I don't. Okay, so
I think the only division that's going to have
Vikings,
Vikings probably both in. Yeah.
Cowboys and Eagles are probably both in.
Cowboys debatable, but yeah, sure. I think so.
Then you've got Bucks, Rams for sure. So that last spot, you've got the Niners, the Saints, the Cardinals, maybe even the Lions.
I
could
absolutely
shock the world.
hate
You
the
never
Saints
know.
this year, so I'm going to say
no,
maybe not to them.
I don't like the Saints either, but I'm saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's
of
also
course,
a
there's
chance of Washington could be better than them.
Mhm.
Washington's roster is really good.
Mhm.
And if Carson Wentz is anyone outside of 2020 Wentz, Washington could be scary.
Yeah.
Like, other than that 1 year with the Eagles where he was genuinely awful. Last year, Carson Wentz was not bad. Was he Aaron Rodgers? No.
Of course not.
But is he good enough to get you to the playoffs? Yeah. At least I think so.
Mhm.
So, there's, 6 teams hovering around the same area as the Niners. They can easily miss it. I think.
I feel you. Alrighty. Are there any other Week 1 games that interest you before we move on?
I think. Ooh. So for a true upset pick, I don't actually have them picked. I have the Titans beating the Giants.
Okay.
But I'm not positive on that.
I'm not either.
I think the Titans might not even be the second best team in their division. I think the Jags are better.
I can see a world where the Jaguars finish ahead of them. And I have gotten so much flack for my hate on the Titans, dude. Twitter has been killing me because I just every time I mention like the fact that like listen, man, the Titans are like I don't like Ryan Tannehill. The receiving core is shaky. Traylon Burks, I think Traylon Burks was my wide receiver 1 or 2. I like him a lot.
Sure.
He's not ready to be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. And Robert Woods is good, but he's aging.
He doesn't have the everybody expects a rookie to come out and be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase.
Not every rookie's going to be able to do that. No.
Those two are two of the most talented receivers we've come out of the draft. Like Traylon Burks isn't that. Most rookie wide receivers aren't that good. Like there are always some that are like, oh damn, like keep that guy on your radar. Like Devonta Smith was 2 years ago, like or 1 year ago, I guess. But like whatever, however long.
For every
good, but
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, there's your Jalen Reagers and your JJ Arcega-Whitesides.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Traylon Burks is going to be as bad as either of those two guys. I don't think he will be. But then there's Derrick Henry, who's close to 30 and he can't survive on that workload. A foot injury is a lot bigger of a deal with a running back than people probably are giving it credit for.
Yeah, but he already came back from it and played again. Like he's fine,
he's fine. But you can't. I don't think I'm expecting like a 2,000-yard season from Derrick Henry.
Well, and their O-line is so bad that there's no shot he could do that anyways.
Right, their O-line. I think Taylor Lewan, if he's even still there, is only an O-line member of their O-line I can name.
Ben Jones is their center.
Oh yeah, I know who Ben Jones is. Yeah. I didn't know if he was there.
Again, it's a center. Most people don't even think of them.
Right.
Unless it's Jason Kelsey. But why do people think of him? His brother plays a position where you care more.
Yeah. And then there's their defense. Kevin Byard and Jeffrey Simmons. Who else? There are some guys who are
Bud Dupree.
yeah, whatever. Bud Dupree.
Harold Landry, who just tore his ACL, so he's not there.
Caleb Farley. Don't hate him.
Yeah, but is he a corner one?
No, he's not a corner one.
So
no shot. Their defense sucks.
So I just the only benefit that you can give the Titans is Vrabel's their coach.
Which is why I don't know if they'll lose a bunch of games. So I don't think that happens under Vrabel.
I've seen too many good coaches lose games because their team's bad. We've seen the greatest coach of all time do it. So unless you're going to try to tell me Vrabel is just that much better than Belichick, no. Talent matters.
Yeah.
And they don't have any in Tennessee.
Here's the thing, dude. You and I might have different definitions of the Titans finishing third based on what our win totals are for the Jags. I have the Jags at 7.
Right. I think I have the Jags at close to 7 also.
I think I either had the Titans
blamed on Twitter.
I think I have the Titans at 7 and 10 with the Jaguars, but the Jaguars have the tiebreaker in some capacity that I don't know how it worked out, but I did like a playoff predictor app thing.
Ooh, I did the playoff predictor for the Titans too. I'm checking. Oh, yeah, I have the Titans being really bad.
I have them 7
really
and 10.
Bad.
What do you have them at?
4 and 13.
That was their floor for me, I believe.
And that's
like 5 and 12 or 4 and 13. Listen, man, there is no argument for them to win their division, and there's no argument for them to be a top 7 team in the AFC. No shot that happens. And the Jaguars are, honestly, I like their future a lot more than I like the Titans' future right now. Yeah. They have Trevor Lawrence, who will end up being a far better quarterback than Tannehill will ever have achieved in his career. I guarantee you. The receiving,
I love Lawrence. I don't know why people are down on him.
Dude, that dude has a top 5 pocket presence in the NFL, and he's a second-year quarterback.
Right. And
I don't get it.
He's got accuracy. He's got a big arm. It's wild because he came into the NFL in a draft class full of kind of freak arms almost. Because Lance's arm's huge. Wilson's arm's huge. Even Fields' arm was huge. So, Trevor Lawrence has the 4th best arm in this class. It's most years it would have been 1. Mm-hmm. There were some freaks in that class. There's a reason, so many guys went first round. There's a reason for that.
And then it's just his receivers fell over. Well, he should have made them not fall over. What are you talking about?
Right?
Sorry, he's not running the offense.
Did you look at Urban Meyer's scheme? Shit's a war crime. I'm gonna keep saying that until it catches on. It was a war crime. It was awful. I genuinely think you could have pulled any random dude out of the stands, and he could have drawn up a better offense.
I didn't even notice this, but this is my biggest upset.
Oh.
The Arizona Cardinals over the Kansas City Chiefs, baby. Week 1, Kyler Murray does it.
I don't care.
I think it's a shootout, and the Cardinals win. I think it's a shootout. Kyler throws for 4 or 5 touchdowns. Mahomes throws for 4 or 5 touchdowns. And the Cardinals went on the field goal or something. Book it.
So, real quick, I'd like to ask.
Go for it.
When going against the worst secondary in the league, you think Mahomes is going to let another team get close?
Yeah. Because their secondary also sucks, and that's Kyler Murray.
Doesn't suck that bad.
Sucks
Justin Reed would be the best player on the Cardinals defense in total.
Buda Baker.
Buda Baker. I forget he exists. Why? Because he's good.
He's like one of those. He's like one of those irrelevant good players. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't see a world where the Cardinals can beat the Chiefs unless Mahomes dies on the way to that game.
You're about to see a world because it's going to happen on Sunday. Let me tell you, sir. I forgot I had that pick. Man, I should have said that earlier when we were talking about upsets.
Okay, so I want to break this down.
Go for it.
Real quick. Who has the better head coach, Cardinals or Chiefs?
Cardinals. I'm just kidding. Chiefs.
Cliff
Kingsbury.
Climb through this screen and beat the shit out of you. I'd have to. Jesus.
Chiefs.
Cliff Kingsbury might be the worst coach in the league.
He's definitely down there. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, Chiefs have a better coach. Who has a
Right.
better quarterback? Yeah, it's not close. It's Mahomes and the Chiefs. Don't do that. The guy you're about isn't even the best quarterback in his own division.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
calm
Well,
down.
who has the better Call of Duty player? That's what I thought.
Actually, I think the Chiefs might. I don't know.
No, dude.
I'm sure there's somebody on the Chiefs who's better than Kyler. I'm
Maybe.
sure. Now, is Mahomes better at Call of Duty? Probably not.
No.
But, okay, running backs. This one's actually kind of close.
James Conner's better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Don't try that.
Yeah, but it's a whole room. Who else is on the Cardinals?
Doesn't matter. James Conner's better than the entire room for the Chiefs.
No, he's not.
James Conner is better than every running back on the Chiefs roster.
James Conner's had one good season in his entire life, and it was just because he
more
scored
than Clyde Edwards-Helaire's had.
Jerick McKinnon exists too. So does Isaiah Pacheco.
Saying that
these guys exist.
A rookie out of Rutgers is better than James Conner is blasphemy. And Jerick McKinnon.
James Conner has been bad the majority of his career. He
not
had
last
one
year.
Good season. We're not going to pretend.
15 touchdowns,
averaging 3.5 yards a carry.
It's more than Najee averaged.
Yeah,
boom!
well,
there it is.
We're not going to get into Najee because I think he's overrated as fuck. But
yeah, he is. Woo!
But that's not the point. James Conner didn't even go for 1,000 yards last year. Actually, now I gotta know.
He was running behind the Steelers O-line for the first part of his career.
I don't care. Also, let's not pretend like the Steelers O-line has always been bad. It's been bad for 3 years. James Conner's been in the league for 7.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
James Conner's not that guy. But
if
you want to say he's better, I think it's...
Oh, Jerick McKinnon, not that guy. Jerick McKinnon's a backup running back. James Conner's very clearly a starting...
he's only very clearly a starter because they have no one else.
I'm saying he's a starter. I'm saying if he was starting for the Cardinals, he'd be starting for a team. He would not be some backup that got signed like Jerick McKinnon is. Jerick McKinnon's not a better running back than James Conner. That's like...
He does more than James Conner. He's a better receiver.
This is giving me Tony Pollard over Zeke vibes. I like this.
Yeah, but at least they're not on the same team, so it doesn't actually matter.
They wear the same colors.
But again, running backs are close.
They are.
Let's not act like it's far and away, Connor. That's my biggest issue.
Yeah, it's not far.
You're acting like Connor was,
I will fight for the fact that
Daniel
Connor's
Jones and
better.
Patrick Mahomes. Damn. Oh, I agree that he's better, but let's not pretend like he's
Dalvin
Cook in this situation.
No.
Fullbacks, I actually don't know if either team has one.
Cardinals do not. I know.
I don't think the Chiefs do either.
No, they do. They have Michael Burton.
Ah, yes.
Michael Burton's good. So Chiefs.
There you go, Miller Football. We know. We're talking about fullback. Also, the Chiefs win fullbacks because they have one.
Basically, yeah.
Receivers in week 1, the Chiefs are better because there's no D-Hop.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
now
the tight ends. That's where the debate really starts. Oh, because
Zach Ertz versus
Zach Ertz and Max Williams versus Travis Kelce. Who else is there? We're talking about rooms.
Give me Travis Kelce's left pinky toe. That's better.
Who else is there besides Travis Kelce? They got Max Williams and Zach Ertz. It's game over.
Is it game over?
Yes.
Is it game over? The most washed tight end and the most mediocre tight end to ever exist. Zach Ertz is not there anymore, man.
No, he's not.
He's expired goods.
He is. Yeah. He needs to decide on one day cut the Eagles and call it.
Yeah. O-line, the Chiefs is better by a mile. The Cardinals O-line is awful.
Creed Humphrey, yeah.
Creed Humphrey, Orlando Brown, Joe Tooney. The Chiefs O-line's not the best, but it's way farther ahead.
This
than the
pick is
Cardinals.
mostly an any given Sunday pick. I'm not like I don't
That's
really
fair.
think that the
That's
Cardinals are like a better roster. Like I said earlier, I just think this is like an early season Kyler game. It tends to go
I was
well.
gonna say that's fair. That's fair.
He has his college teammate.
And-
I think I don't like Marquise Brown a ton, but he's still like he's a serviceable receiver. And like AJ Green's still there. They have like Rondell Moore. I like
AJ Green is not serviceable though.
no,
AJ Green costs you games. We watched that by the fact that
likely.
he never turned his fucking head against Rasul goddamn Douglas.
He made
They
Rasul
let that
Douglas like
guy
an
have a
all-pro
good
corner. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Not for me. I was riding high that night, but
no,
yeah.
that's a dub for you. But I was so sure the Cardinals were gonna win it. I saw them win it. Like I saw him make that throw, and I was like, "Oh, AJ Green has position. That's game." And then he never looked for the ball.
Yeah, dude. Because I was in my feelings, bro. Because like I went to school like in Chicago, and so
Yeah.
everybody I was watching the game with was a Bears fan, and they're all just like the Packers are about to lose. They're all just like they're riding high. And he makes the throw, and I'm just like, I hate Kyler Murray. And then all of a sudden, AJ Green's just like staring at some like girl in the state in like the fan section. I'm just like, what is he doing? And Rasul Douglas is like doing a dance. I'm like, what just happened? First thing I did was go on Twitter, and the first like 50 tweets of my timeline are all just, what is AJ Green doing? It's like videos of him just standing there staring, just like,
dude,
is he even there anymore? Like, I don't get. Does he care?
Doesn't seem like it. Oh, that was tough. That was a tough week.
That was a tough week. All right. Is there any other week one games that you would want to hit on? I think we've covered mostly all of them.
I think we've
set of a few. Just
there's
like
a few we haven't touched, but
lopsided
there's also no
matchups.
need. Yep.
Like the Ravens are gonna demolish the Jets week one.
Yeah, I don't care if Zach Wilson's playing or not.
Joe Flacco
Prepare
revenge
for a Lamar,
game, baby.
No, prepare for a Lamar Jackson masterclass.
He's going to go so hard against that defense. I can't wait.
He's going nuclear. Well, and he's still fighting for a contract. He's going absolutely nuclear.
With the way
every
that quarterback,
time he touches the
with
field.
the way the quarterback market sits right now, with that new Russ deal in there, like the Kyler deal, he's playing for a lot of money.
Yeah,
he's going to go
berserk.
berserk.
The thing is, I don't think he gives a fuck if it's with the Ravens or not. We
He's
saw
getting money
him on
either
Twitter,
way.
like that picture in the Miami uniform. And let's be honest, what other teams could be quarterbackless at the end of this year? Who's all on one-year deals? Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady. Like, there are competitive teams.
As much as I hate to say it,
Jameis doesn't work for the Saints, they would go after Lamar.
As much as I hate to say it, potentially, if he doesn't have a good enough year, and they should be contenders this year. Jalen Hurts, like
the
Lamar,
Eagles
the Eagles were like already like rumored for like Kyler before he got signed. So just like they're obviously that organization hates Jalen Hurts. Unless he has some like monster MVP season and they win the Super Bowl this year, I don't think his job's safe.
No,
because now they had the excuse like we
when
gave
Lamar
you your weapons.
Is the other quarterback. Yeah, there's nobody's really safe if we're being real. Like you got to remember, there were also Vikings rumors about Kyler Murray.
Oh yeah,
Kwesi and KOC are not sold on Kirk, and outside of again winning the Super Bowl, if Lamar's an option, that's the option they're picking.
Yeah, and they have the assets to do it.
Right.
So, I would say yeah.
Especially since it would have to be a trade, because the Ravens are going to franchise tag him if they don't give him an extension.
No matter what happens with Lamar, he is not walking out of that building on his own. He will be sent somewhere.
No, he will be traded. And I don't know I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles probably is the other best assets to trade for him.
They got a lot.
But if Jalen Hurts comes out and sucks, like the Eagles somehow miss the playoffs and he sucks, realistically, who's the better trade partner, the Eagles or the Vikings? The Vikings, because you still get a serviceable quarterback.
And like the Vikings still have like a top 5 receiver on a rookie deal, and they're not like having to pay him big money yet. Because you want to pay a quarterback before you have to pay Jefferson. That would be the goal.
Yep.
Would be paying a good quarterback before you pay Jefferson.
Yep.
But Jefferson, with the way the wide receiver market looks, is going to get paid a ton of money.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
I think there's a genuine possibility, depending on this year, that he might get the biggest wide receiver contract of all time.
Probably should.
But that's still a lot of money to invest in him. It's Justin Jefferson, I know, but if it's still Kirk Cousins, what are you gonna do?
But if it's still Kirk Cousins, what are you gonna do? Let Jefferson go? Like, no shot.
Right.
You have to keep weapons.
Mm-hmm.
The thing at that point would be telling Kirk, "Fuck you. We're not giving you 40. Fuck you. We're not giving you 30. You can take 25 and you can like it, or get off this team.
Minimum.
We can find a quarterback who can give us at least Kirk levels of winning."
Mm-hmm.
We've done it before. Case Keenum won more than Kirk ever has.
Fair enough.
And he's still a guy. We could go call Case up and pay him $2 million a year. We could go pay, anybody that we know is
make
a
amends with
serviceable
Kellen
guy.
Mond.
No, but I don't know. I just don't love anyone really at this point. The Vikings suck. I hate them. It's my favorite team, but I hate them.
Yeah. So yeah, that is, I think, it for the week 1 segment. One last thing I want to hit on. There are a couple of questions that got asked in the Twitter question poll that I think they did that could be kind of interesting to hear your answers on.
Ooh.
The first one, you cannot say the Minneapolis Miracle. What is your favorite NFL game of all time? Can be any game. Doesn't have to be a Vikings game.
Why can't I say the Minneapolis Miracle?
You say the
Minneapolis
Miracle and explain why, but I also want you to give a non-Minneapolis Miracle answer.
Okay.
If you'd like.
I'm gonna do this the cheap plug way. You want the answer for why the Minneapolis Miracle is the best football game of all time?
Here he goes.
Go check out my YouTube channel. I just did a video on it. So there you go.
The TheGeekSlays on YouTube, everybody. Yes, sir.
Nope. Go check that one out. Honestly, that video was so fun to make. It took me so long.
I'm sure, dude. It was really
every
good.
bit of it.
I liked it.
Oh, it was great. It was a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
People were confused though, because why did you start it off by talking about Teddy Bridgewater from 2 years before it? It's like
it plays a big part.
Without that injury, it doesn't happen.
The Minneapolis Miracle does not exist. Yeah.
So that was important. And I think the setup of knowing what the Vikings were going into that season where Teddy got hurt was important. Because I think everybody just thinks of Teddy now as just that mediocre quarterback. That's not what he always was.
No,
he was the guy who was supposed to take that step and go be one of the 10 best quarterbacks in football. Instead, he stepped into a pothole and his knee exploded. But
yep.
No. If not that, I don't know if I want to stay a homer. There are so many good football games. What was your answer?
Packers-Bears NFC Championship game 2010.
Where you should have lost, but Jay Cutler decided to sit on the bench and do nothing?
Yeah, it was mostly because that was a very formative young sports fan experience for me. It was also just a dope game, a dope ending with the BJ Raji thing. My non-Packers answer was actually legitimately Bills Chiefs last year. I thought that was so fun to watch.
Okay, I'm gonna go non-Vikings answer first.
Okay, go for it.
Bills Chiefs was incredible, but
I know it was so recent, but it was just such a good game. So fun.
I'm going with what was before Bills Chiefs touted as one of the best games of all time. Chiefs Rams on that Monday night football game
I was thinking about
a couple
that
years ago.
Such a
that was nuts.
Man.
Jared Goff was out of his mind.
Jared Goff and Mahomes were touted as this huge quarterback rivalry. It was awesome.
Right. Yeah. That game was incredible.
54-53, just touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, just big play, big play, big play. The Rams were wearing those yellow jerseys, bro.
Yep. And the Chiefs it was the ketchup and mustard game.
Yeah,
it was,
it was
awful. I hated the way that looked on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, if I'm going with my homer pick, it would have to be that would have been 2016 Cardinals at Vikings, week 8, I think. The year the Vikings opened US Bank Stadium. I was at that game, and it was incredible. So Adam Thielen had a catch that even he didn't think he made. Like, he thought he stepped out of bounds, but they reviewed it, and it was a touchdown catch. It was incredible. Then Cordero Patterson had a 109-yard kick return touchdown. Xavier Rhodes had a 102-yard pick six. You know, Larry Fitzgerald was being Larry Fitzgerald. I always love seeing legends play football. That's fun for me. So, like, that game was just a blast. So I think I'd have to go with that one.
One of my other picks is I went to go see the Packers at Lambeau play against the Giants Sunday Night Football. Back when Odell was on the team. And I don't talk about this at all, but I have met Odell Beckham Jr. and this dude is electric. I had like special access, and he was there, and like a bunch of other guys were there. This Packers did like this talk show, and he was like walking through, and it was dope. So that's probably one of my best experiences, because watching that's like the Jordy Nelson was still there, and like watching them just beat down the Giants, like Eli Manning and stuff, and Eddie Lacy just bowling people over. Also, just being in a game at Lambeau Field, awesome.
Fair, yeah. I think that's what makes the Vikings Cardinals memory so special is being there the opening season of, at the time, the newest, best, brightest stadium in the league. That was sick. But,
dude, that video still gives me chills. I'm assuming you've seen the video of Justin Jefferson running out of the tunnel like during one of their primetime games, and the stadium's just like pitch black with the fireworks. That video is so dope. I love that.
Oh, seeing that shit live.
Yeah, dude, I can imagine.
The stadium go dark, the flames as the players run out the tunnel. Oh, it gets you going.
Yeah.
And then I've only ever been to one other NFL game, and it was in Denver at Mile High. The volume inside US Bank is so crazy.
I can imagine.
You will be sitting there next to somebody, and you cannot hear them screaming. It's just
so dope.
That was also the worst headache I've ever had. Was that night after the game?
I can imagine.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
but yeah, there are very few places that get as loud as Minnesota. Seattle does it. Kansas City does it. New Orleans does it. Outside of that, I think Green Bay would. Lambeau's kind of small. And not really built for being loud. It's too open.
Lambeau's too much of an open concept. Yeah.
Like, Packers fans are crazy enough to get that loud.
Yeah.
It just can't because of the stadium.
Right.
But,
All right. One more question to round off the episode. If you could bring someone from your team's past, anybody who's played from your team, onto your favorite NFL or NBA team right now, who would it be and why? You can change the NFL part if you want. Or
I'm
NBA.
I'm going to go both NFL, NBA. But for NFL...
It can be anybody who's played for the Vikings. Do you want to take Randy Moss, or do you set with the receiving core?
I'm set. No, my cop-out was going to be Fran Tarkenton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fran was the originator of what the quarterback is today.
Yeah.
The scrambler, run-and-gun guy. Tarkenton was the first guy.
He would be sick on the current Vikings, yeah.
Right. Like, Fran Tarkenton's one. I think the only other real option is Jim Marshall.
Okay.
Bring one of the purple people eaters back to clog the middle.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Kevin Williams. He's on that same level as Marshall. But I think Marshall would be the cooler draw because Kevin Williams is barely retired. Like, he retired less than 10 years ago. Like, that's less fun.
Yeah.
Randy would be cool because that would, without a doubt, be the greatest receiving core ever. But but also Kirk would still be the quarterback. So give me Fran Tarkenton. Like, I think we'd win the Super Bowl if Fran just
probably
teleported to today and was like, let's do this shit. So, yeah, I'm going Fran. Who'd you go?
I think my current pick was Jordy Nelson.
I went Devontae Adams. We miss you.
Did that one? I was thinking about it. It was way too recent. I was just like,
It would have been funny, though.
Him or like Charles Woodson would be dope. Or I'm trying to think of some other guys.
Reggie White.
Reggie White would be awesome.
That would be crazy. I think the Packers' best choice would have been Sterling Sharp.
Yeah.
He's the best receiver in Packers history, and it's really not close.
It's true. Yeah.
I get that you love Jordy. I'm the same way with some Vikings receivers, just because, like,
I more have a recency
they were
bias
my
towards
guys,
Jordy.
but yeah.
But Sterling Sharp, he's the best receiver in Packers
fan.
history. Yeah, he's the best receiver.
Fans are allowed to be biased towards random guys that they loved growing up.
100%. Yeah.
Is Antoine Winfield that good of a corner?
No.
Probably not. Is he my favorite corner to ever touch a football field? Well, technically, no. But he's up there.
Yeah.
I always kind of forget Nnamdi Asomugha exists. He's my favorite corner to ever touch a football field. I hate that he went to the Eagles, and I hate that they ruined him so hard. Oh, we're taking the best man-to-man corner in the league, and we're going to force him to play zone. Oh, he sucks now. No shit.
What happened?
I was so pissed because I knew the Eagles ran a zone scheme. It's like, why would you go after Nnamdi? Also, I really wanted Nnamdi in Minnesota to pair with Antoine Winfield. I thought that would have been the coolest duo ever. But Antoine Winfield's meh.
Is your NBA answer Kevin Garnett?
No, I've been struggling because I was gonna say KG, but that team would probably suck.
With him, Cat, and Gobert, yeah, it's a lot of bigs.
It's so big that it would be the best to ever exist, or the worst.
Or they would just
I don't think there's a middle.
Yeah.
Like, could that team beat the Warriors? I don't know.
Like, dude, I don't have any idea about like Timberwolves history, so I don't even have a suggestion for you about like guards or something. But
it's a weird. Okay, it's gonna sound like a weird option, I think, because not many people think of him as like a true all-time great. But give me Stephon Marbury.
Ooh, I like that. I like it. Yeah,
give me 20 and 8, just at the 3 spot. Move Marbury to the 2. That probably makes more sense. Have it be D'Lo, Marbury, Edwards, Cat, Gobert.
Like it.
That would be a sick squad.
Yeah.
I think Marbury's forgotten about a lot, but he's great. Who'd you pick?
Vince Carter for the Raptors.
Yep. That's valid.
Dude,
gotta get
that one was so easy. Yeah.
Yep.
You
There's
can
also
be like
the benefit of the Raptors aren't an old team.
Yeah.
So,
I think like McGrady would be cool, but I don't know how he fits into like our current team. I just think Vince Carter would just be so fun. Like if we're talking like prime, like plopping prime Vince Carter onto the Raptors right now, just having him dunk on everybody, would love to see it. Because I wasn't old enough. I wasn't old enough for prime Vince Carter. Yeah.
He was always somebody, even like when he was 48 and still playing for whatever reason in 2K, every time I'd play it, he was on my team.
Yes, sir.
Same with like Ray Allen, no matter how old he was, if he was in the game, he was
just
on
put him in
team.
the corner and have him shoot, yeah.
Dude, Ray Allen's, the second best shooter of all time.
I thought you were about to hit me with the he's the best and we were going to get into a fight.
I did for a really long time. I argued that way longer than I probably should have, but Ray Allen was one of my favorite players ever. So.
I would entertain it for the most part until Steph Curry broke the record.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think it it was up until like 2017, 2018 that I was still arguing for Ray Allen. But like when Steph got his third ring, it's like, okay, it's Steph. Yeah. All right. We've never seen a guy do it this way.
Here he is.
All right, here you go, man. But
yeah,
weirdly, my favorite basketball player ever only played for the Timberwolves for 1 year.
Who's that?
Derrick Rose. The man who got me into the sport.
That's an interesting pick.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep. He's my favorite player to ever play in the NBA.
I respect it.
And watching him put up his career high as a Timberwolf, I was so pumped that game.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
I was going.
Derrick Rose is dope. Yeah.
Biggest what if in NBA history.
Yeah.
Ooh. I know you wanted to wrap it up. Is D Rose a Hall of Famer?
I will entertain this conversation. No.
So, real quick, before you already gave your answer, but before you give your answer, remember it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So there's a distinction. That's why, like, Melo is no matter what going to be first ballot because he's done so much outside of just the NBA.
Winning an MVP so young.
The youngest to ever do it, then and still.
He hasn't done enough. I'm going to say no.
Ooh,
I'm so torn,
like
but I'm going to say no. I'm going to lean no.
Let's look at this. I'm intrigued. So obviously he's been in the league for what the fuck ever, how many years?
Good amount.
Yeah, like 15. That can't be right. Oh my God. Like 14 years, that hurts my soul.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, over his career, even after the injury, he still averages 18, 5, and 3.
Yeah.
Good shooter, good PER for what he does. Like, I know the injuries derailed him because he probably would have been one of the greatest of all time. But, like, what I really think is, like, if he stays on the Knicks next year, which I think he's going to, I think he's on the Knicks. Honestly, haven't really been paying attention to basketball. It's not time for basketball in my head yet. But,
okay.
You know, if he moves to the bench for the Knicks and goes and wins a 6th Man of the Year, I think
that's what I was going to
not
bring
an
up.
argument at all.
Here's the thing. I am not entirely sure that he has the accolades to do it. MVP in 2011,
All NBA, rookie,
one All
rookie of the year,
All
MVP.
NBA, Rookie of the Year, All Rookie, and then the All Stars. I don't know if that's enough. It might be.
I don't either.
Because the NBA or the Basketball Hall of Fame is notorious for people calling it like easier to get into than the NFL one, which I'm not sure is entirely true. I think it's just a completely different situation.
Well,
but
I think it's not entirely true for like at least 2, maybe 3 reasons. One, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame, which is different. If you were dominant in college but sucked in the NBA, you're still going to the Hall.
Yep.
Like, that's just how that works. Or like, if you're Carmelo Anthony, where you were really good in the NBA, but you never won.
Right.
But,
like,
you know, you're a 3-time gold medalist at the Olympics and a college national champion.
Right.
You're easily a Hall of Famer.
Like Coach K is a first ballot Hall of Famer in the Basketball Hall of Fame, but Nick Saban's not getting into the NFL Hall of Fame. That's not how that works.
Right. But the other thing is, the NFL feels like it's harder to get into because there's so many more players.
There are a lot more
players. There's a bigger pool.
Yeah.
Like, there are 53 people per team.
Like,
in the NBA, it's 13.
13 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like... So, yeah, a larger percentage of NBA players get into the Hall. That's how it works. That's just how that goes.
Math, yeah.
Wild.
But yeah, as far as Derrick Rose goes, I'm going to say no at the moment. If that 6th man, or maybe he starts for the Knicks and gets an all-star appearance this year, maybe.
Eventually, he's going to get an all-star appearance anyways.
Yeah, because he'll be like one of like the legacy guys. He'll be there.
Yep, because they do the legacy thing, and when he announces this is my final run,
He's getting
he
in no matter
will be
what.
an all
Yeah.
star. That's just
It's like
how that
Albert
goes.
Pujols being one
Yep.
this year.
Or
Yep.
Dwayne Wade and Dirk a couple
Dwayne
years
Wade
ago.
and Dirk. Yep.
That's
Being
just
like.
that's a
That's how it
thing now,
works. Yep.
which I love. I do like the
I think that's
idea
cool.
of
Yeah.
legends being honored in their final year.
Mhm.
I know it's a little weird, but like they're legends. Are they that guy anymore? No, but they were, and they deserve
big
that
time.
one last send off.
Hmm.
But all right, that's all I
right.
wanted to. I like talking about Derrick Rose sometimes.
There it is. Well, that's all we got. Go ahead and I forget to do this. I mean to do this every episode, but go ahead and plug your socials. Tell people where to find you. What your usernames are. Hit them with it.
Straight up, the TheGeekSlays everywhere, basically. Anywhere you want to look, all the time. I'm always content posting.
There it
Wild
is.
time.
Well, yeah. Thanks for being on, man. It was a great conversation. Good talking to you, and yeah, we'll see you later.
Always a blast. Thanks for having me again.
No problem. See ya.